we will continue with our Precalculus course. Our topic for today would be lines in the plane, which is the fourth prerequisite. In this page, you can see four definitions: the slope formula, the point slope formula, the slope intercept, and the general form of a line. With this, we'll continue to solve our first exercise. It says, find a general form equation for the line through the pairs of points. Okay, they give you a pair of points, as you can see here. We're going to call them x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay? Now, what we're looking for is for a general form. Our general form is ax plus by plus c equals 0. We're going to write our equation of those points using this. Now, to write that equation, you need to know what is your slope, that is represented by m, and you need to know what is your y-intercept, that is represented by b. For that, we're going to use the forms that we just discussed. First, let's start, I'll change my color, with the slope. M is equal to y2 minus y1, which is the rise over the run. That is x2 minus x1. If we substitute with these points from here, we'll have 6 minus from your formula, y1 says that is -2, over x2 says that is 1 minus from your formula, x1 that is -7. If you multiply your signs, you'll have 6 plus 2 over 1 plus 7, which is 8 over 8 is equal to 1. Your slope is 1. Now let's find the equation. What formula are we going to use to find the equation? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, which is your point slope form. If we substitute this information, you're going to have y minus y1 is here, is -2, is equal to m, we found it, is 1 times x minus x1 is here, is -7. We multiply our signs, y plus 2 is equal to, if you multiply the 1 here, it's just going to disappear because it will be the same, and you multiply your signs. Since you're looking for ax plus by, and I like my x to be positive, I'll send to the other side this information. X plus 7 stays there, minus y minus 2 because they change signs, equal to 0. If you add your like terms, or subtract in this case, x minus y plus 5 is equal to 0, and this is my standard form. Now, let's continue with the next type of exercise. It says, graphing linear equations into variables, and we're going to graph this equation by using intercepts. What are the intercepts? Are the points when you intersect your axis. In other words, if I intersect my axis or my x-axis, I do not have a y-intercept. Y has to be 0. So, if I'm looking for my x-intercept, let's change this here, x-intercept, y has to be 0, equals to 4. If I solve for x, 8x is equal to 4, I send the 8 to the other side as subdivision, x is equal to 4 divided by 8, I simplify, is 1/2, or if you want to, 0.5. Now, I'm going to change my color. If I'm looking for my y-intercept now, x is 0, that means that y is just equal to 4. With this information, we're going to make our graph. Let's make our line here. Let's make our lines, or our axis. And we have x is 1/2. If this is 1, 1/2 has to be in the middle of these two numbers, of 0 and 1. And y is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is here. You connect your points with a straight line, and that would be your graph. With this, we're going to continue with the next type of exercise. The next one says parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, definitions of parallels and perpendicular lines. Two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. That means that they have the same slope. And that two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes are opposite reciprocals. That means that when you multiply the two slopes, your answer has to be -1 because it's opposite reciprocal. The exercise here says, find an equation for the line passing through the point and parallel to the given line. First, we're going to do this one. Parallel to the given line, that means that they have the same slope. What is the slope of this line? We still have to find it. I'll continue here. If I solve for y here, I'll have 3y is equal to -2x plus 12. Now, I still have to solve for y. I have to isolate y. The 3 moves to the other side to divide both numbers. Y is equal to -2/3x plus 12/3. You simplify if you can. -2/3 cannot be simplified, but this one, yes. My slope is -2/3. Once you have your slope and you have a point here, you're going to use the same formula we used, the point slope form. It said y minus y1. y1 is this point here, that is 1, is equal to m. We found it here, -2/3 times x minus x1, which is 3. If you multiply by derivative, y minus 1 is equal to -2/3x plus 2. Once you multiply, you can use your calculator to make that multiplication, and then you send the 1 to the other side as a addition. Y is equal to -2/3x plus 2 plus 1. You make your addition, -2/3x plus 3. This is your parallel equation. Now we're going to do letter B. It says, find an equation for the line passing through the point and perpendicular now to the given line. We already have our slope, -2/3. I'm going to change the slide. We know that our slope is -2/3. That part we know. But now perpendicular, it has to be the reciprocal and opposite of this one. That means that my slope to use for perpendicular has to be 3/2. There is a way to check it. Remember, I told you that the multiplication has to be -1. If I multiply -2/3 times 3/2 and you simplify, your answer is -1. That means that we are correct with our slope. The points are still this. We use the same formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m now, that is 3/2 times x minus x1. Process basically the same. Y minus 1 is equal to 3/2x minus 9/2. We send the 1 that is subtracting to the other side as an addition. Y is equal to 3/2x minus 9/2 plus 1. You make your subtraction 3/2x -9/2 plus 1. You can use your calculator for this. It says that it's -7/2. This is your perpendicular line or your perpendicular equation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, math is magic.